Good afternoon, Justice Seekers. It is about 2 o'clock on, what day is it today? Tuesday still? I think it's October 11th. So the lighting is all right. I've mentioned to you guys, harder to get the lighting right with the lives than it is with the pre-recorded, but I'm wanting to do live so that I can interact with you, the audience, because I think that's extremely valuable. I got on here again. I did my little thing this morning early, and please let me know if you can hear me. Thank you in advance. Let's see. I want to say everything that I say is my opinion only and sheerly speculation for entertainment and educational purposes, hopefully, and just to open up a discussion about Kylie Rodney. So the death of Kylie Rodney, it's so sad. It's so sad. It really hit me today, just a little bit ago. I don't know about you guys, but I've cried a few tears. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. And obviously I did not know Kylie, but I certainly feel like I've gotten to know her a little bit from the videos and just from watching her sing and all that great stuff. So let me start out by saying that we've got to not allow the enemy to divide and conquer us, because that is what they're trying to do, I believe, with something like this videotape, this alleged videotape of a car going into the lake. I admit that, yes, it is a videotape going into a lake. And we know that you can edit and manipulate video cameras and videotapes and all that stuff, right? That's no news to anybody. But what that has accomplished, other than just confusing people or making people think that they're seeing something specific when that might not be the case, what it has definitely accomplished is splitting the YouTube community. So I have a good morning. I'm glad to catch you live. Awesome. I know, I figured everybody's at work, right? So, but thank you for letting me know that I am on, because I didn't know if I was having technical difficulties or not. So what this lake fire cam video has accomplished very successfully, I'll give them that, is splitting the YouTube community. So now we have kind of the us against them, the believers that this is Kylie's car going into the lake, and the non-believers that no, this is not Kylie's car going into the lake. I have stated again and again that I don't care. I honestly don't care whose car it is. It doesn't change the conversation as far as I'm concerned. We don't know who's driving it, and we don't know if it is going into the lake. We don't know what day it was. We don't know really anything about it other than that it has these timestamps and that it's been told to us that it was dug up out of the archives of the Alder Hill fire surveillance camera. And, there's just a lot of confusing information, like that maybe that it doesn't archive back more than 12 hours. Have you guys heard that? Because it doesn't make sense that it would. When you're surveilling fires, you don't care what the fire was doing the day before yesterday. You care what the fire's doing now and for the last 12 hours, right? But anyway, this is the gaslighting and this splitting the YouTube community. Splitting is what borderline personality disorder people do wherever they go. They do it at work, they do it at home, they do it to the YouTube community. Borderline personality disorder is usually assigned to women. Narcissistic, antisocial personality disorder is more commonly prescribed to men. But the commonality of all personality disorders is that they're manipulative and that they are painful to be around, literally emotionally painful to be around. These people live in pain all the time. They have major abandonment issues. They can't deal with criticism. They can't deal with being wrong. They can't deal with somebody not liking them. When you know what? This is real life. We all have to deal with that stuff every day, right? And it's not the funnest to deal with criticism or to deal with somebody not liking you or, abandonment, but you deal with it. You just keep moving forward. It's part of life. And often when you're in a situation with somebody that's personality disordered, you don't realize that they're personality disordered. And that makes it even more challenging to deal with it because you just accept them for being a normal person and they can appear as a normal person. They're usually very charming and very intelligent, but extremely manipulative. And the telltale feature is the splitting, the us and them. Whose side are you on? You should never have to pick a side. It's real life, right? I mean, there's a lot of shades of gray, shades of gray. Sorry, I can speak really. But it's not black and white. And that's, again, the key feature with personality disorders, and especially borderline, is that black and white thinking, that all or nothing. You are either completely awesome and they're going to love bomb you, or you suck and they're going to try to take you down. Nothing in between. So you guys have all been around them, right? It's rough. It's really rough. So I wanted to say a couple of things that I haven't really said yet. Sammy and the drinking and the going in and out of Kylie's car on the night of August 5th, 6th. My opinion is that she is preemptively trying to explain why her DNA is all over Kylie, in her mouth, in her nose, in her eyes, her ears, her hair, her face. Because I think they were fighting. I think that they were fighting and it went too far and Kylie's dead. That's what I think is part of the story. And for her to be describing going into Kylie's car so many times she lost count, and for her to be passing drinks back and forth with Kylie so many times that she lost count, my opinion is that she is trying to explain why her DNA is all over Kylie's car. All right. And the fight may have happened in the car. Kylie was obviously in the car. So Sammy was obviously in the car too, in my opinion. So I just think that that's really important to go over why Sammy is stating so many times about the drinking and about the getting in the car. And, that girl is not doing herself any favors, right? I mean, smart criminals zip it. And thank goodness that they keep talking themselves into more and more trouble, like Jagger too. So something that I've brought up a couple of times is the fire that it seems like was burned down by the waterside, by the water's edge. And if you guys remember when they pulled Kylie's CRV out of the lake or out of the reservoir, they also put up some crime scene tape in like a, what would you call it? A parallelogram figure. Kind of like a squashed rectangle. And none of us really knew what that was, right? Or why that was there. So I wonder if perhaps that was where there was a fire. I'm pretty sure I've heard the kids from that night say that they had a fire down there by the water. And there were no fires allowed at that point in time because of the fire hazards. So why would they have a fire down by the water? I don't know, but potentially to destroy evidence. That's my first thought. And it seems to me that there may have been a blood trail on some of the search maps. There are notes written by the officials about a blood trail right there near that spot. So I've wondered. A couple other things I wanted to go over here and why I got back on this afternoon. And thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, to like, subscribe, and share, if you will, if you please. So a couple of things I wanted to go back into. One of them is the statistics that I spit out, I think it was yesterday, about there being about 18,000 people in the Truckee area. And I might have misspoke and said Tahoe area, but I meant Truckee itself. I really honestly haven't been to any of these other areas in Tahoe. I've only been to Truckee. So it's interesting to me that this happens to be in Truckee, right? And had I not been there, I would not be clued into any of this stuff about Donner Pass, about that whole nightmare experience, and the cannibalism, which to me is the epitome of severe savagery. And I think that it shapes the background of where this whole thing is taking place. And that word, severe, who uses that word in really odd terms, like severely looking at the back of somebody's car? Who says that? I think something severe happened that night, and she accidentally spilt that word in a very inappropriate sentence. Again, giving herself away. I think it's Armchair Detective that says, Sammy and another brain leak. It cracks me up. It could be even True Crime Rocket Science, because they both have similar accents, and they, they both do great work, in my opinion. So Truckee has about 16 to 18,000 people that live there year round. I was looking for numbers of how many people are there statistically on a crowded weekend, because I was quoting like 100, 200, 300,000 people on a nice ski weekend in the winter. And I think that's just the Truckee area. I don't think that that's like the whole Tahoe area. This is a really big area. Tahoe is huge. It's one of the largest bodies of water in the continental US, and can drain 1 billion gallons of water in a day easily. Billion. I got that. Billion. Okay. So what I did get on my Google search of statistics is that they have 15 million visitors in the Tahoe area every year. That's what it says on Google anyway. 15 million. It's a lot of people and a lot of money. I mean, each one of those people is probably spending, let's just say about 500 to $1,000, basically. I don't know. It's been a while for me. So I wanted to go over a few of the other channels that I failed to mention earlier when I was given some shout outs. And there's so many good creators out there. And I certainly don't think that I know who all of them are. There's plenty that I have not even come across yet. So if you'd like to make some suggestions in the comments, I'm always appreciative of that. And a few that I forgot to mention was Armchair Detective and True Crime Rocket Science. Candace Starr, I really like her. Evil Exists, it's an odd name, but a great channel in my opinion. And I've mentioned the Lake Time Living again and again. There's one, I cannot find it, but I've heard. So if you know it and put it in the comments, I would love it. It's Cotton Candy something, something that's not like kid friendly. I think it's like Cotton Candy Boobs or Cotton Candy Tits or something terrible like that. But apparently they have a video that Sammy posted of a girl being put in the trunk of a car. And I'd really like to see that video. So I've tried searching for it many times. I haven't been able to find it. J is for Justice and Conspiracy, Geneva Crime Time, Amber Truth Seeker, it's ATS. She does really good work. And I've enjoyed Mysteriously Brittany and 1111 Tarot. I know there's more that I'll think of later that I'll add. I'm always applauding Zav Girl, Upchurch, Plunder, and Watts the Obsession. Those are some of my favorites, and I don't like to speak negatively about any other channel, period. Um, I personally am very disappointed with channels that are, like I've said before, in my opinion, pretending that this is real video footage of Kylie going into the water, because let's just say for a second that it is. We should still suspend our assessment or our opinion or our judgment about it until we have more information. I just think with all of this, with everything, with me, with you, we all need to suspend our disbelief because it's so easy to get conned and people are getting conned all the time. Somebody put in this, our 22 cents, and yes, I really like that channel. And CNY. Cotton Candy lost her channel, started a new one, I think. Okay. Real Justice. I haven't heard of that one. REEL. That's a cool name. And then somebody wrote Dolly, and I'm not sure. There are predatory channels for sure. Absolutely. And yeah, you got to be careful. Absolutely. You back Jeff. Yes, I've been watching him. CCTV. I'm not sure that I've caught so much CCTV, but I've definitely heard good things about it. And Dolly Vision. And I think somebody wrote in there perplexed. Somebody said, I love lake time, love living lake time. I'm surprised living lake time doesn't have more subs and more likes and more views. That guy is so sharp. He's so quirky, but personally, I love quirky. So I'll try to be as quirky as him, but I'm a little bit less quirky, I think. And I just try to be me. I don't try to be anybody but me. So I think it was, oh, why am I spacing? You back Jeff, who did the little model of the car. And he is a car body worker. I'm not saying that right. He does welding and he fixes cars when they've been in accidents. So he knows a lot about cars and accidents. And it's great for that somebody with that knowledge to be looking at this case. But he does the funniest remake of the car movie, the video footage. So he takes like a little matchbox car and he attaches a light to it and some batteries, and he draws a map that is like so basic. It's hilarious. It's like a little kid drew it, but I think he did that on purpose. It's really cute. And then he goes through this 45-minute video showing you how he built his stuff and showing how easy it is to make this videotape look a certain way. And he turns out the lights and he's got a little string that he's pulling the car around on the drawing of the lake and the land. I think he did a great job of showing what he was trying to show. And I really appreciate that. Another channel I like is that an All American Cartel. I think he does good work. And I think that Speaks Van Holding 24/7, if I'm saying that correctly. I think he does good work too. I think he got a lot of heat for saying some very severe and extreme things. Personally, I think that those severe and extreme things, unfortunately, might have some accuracy. I hope not. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if this was just a car accident? Come on, people. Nobody wants this to be what it looks like. The betrayal, the crimes, the criminal behavior, the savagery. Again, that word, savagery, severe savagery, the backstabbing. It just doesn't get any worse than that. I mean, seriously, if it was some kind of senior prank accident gone wrong and she ended up deceased, come clean, right? It's obvious to me that it was far more sinister than that. I think that the truth would have come out already if it was really something like that, or even something as unintentional as an overdose. My opinion is that she got beat up. She got beat up at the fight club, and she might have gotten a concussion, and she might have um, been unconscious for a while before succumbing to her injuries. And these people just did everything they could to conspire to hide it and to then try to make it look like she died in a car accident. But I don't know. I mean, that's just the opinion that I have formulated based on the information that I've seen. And I am selective about the information that I take in. There's so many channels out there. There's so many that I like and so many that I don't like. Crime and crochet are my hyper focus. And CNY, love your content too. CNY says crime and crochet are my hyper focus. Thank you. You know, I have heard of crime and crochet. I will check that out because what I do when I'm watching other people's tapes is I sew. I love sewing. And it just relaxes me. And, you know, it's important to me to feel productive. And watching YouTube videos can certainly seem indulgent at times rather than productive. So, if I'm making something while I'm doing it, then I feel a lot better about myself and how I'm spending my time. So I think I have covered almost everything. Okay. Um, I wanted to say that when somebody is testifying in court, okay, and they're up on this witness stand, what a good attorney does is they give this witness enough rope to allow them to hang themselves. And that's sort of like what people are doing on social media. When I say people, I'm referring to people like Sammy and Jagger and Check It TV, SF, Ronnie, Zanime. These people are hanging themselves. Nobody else is doing it. They are doing it to themselves. And for that, we can thank them. You know, they're kind of like the Scooby-Doo characters that are taking off their own mask at the end rather than having somebody else take it off for them. So, two other things I wanted to say. My opinion about Sammy's transportation to and from the party, which has all been so top secret, right? We've never had any names dropped of how she got there. I think she drove herself there. She was sitting in what looked like was probably her own car when she was doing her Tony Dodge interview, and probably when she was doing that other interview a few days later too with, I think it was with a news station. And there were like tapestries, kind of like Native American or Mexican, South American looking tapestries covering all the seats in the car, front and back. And I thought, you know, those are probably hers. That's probably not so much her parents' style. Her parents are in their 60s and 70s. So I figure it very well could be her car. And why wouldn't she have driven herself to the party? And I mean, she gave herself away when she said that Kylie called her at 12:36, which might just be where she really hung herself. And that she said, I'm being driven. I'm in the passenger seat. I'm on Highway 89 right now. I mean, she said so many things like that where she put it out there. Like when she said, I have her completely, and she just stopped. And then she kind of acted like she was narcoleptic and fell asleep and was like, wait, was I talking? I can't even remember. What was I saying? She did that a couple of times. And yeah, that word narcoleptic is a lot like another word that Tony Dodge used that I don't even want to say. CNY family says, yep, I think she's talking about that, but I don't know. I'm not reading through everything. I will in a second. The other thing I wanted to say before I forget is about the sweatshirt. Let me get a drink real quick. Um, that damn Lana Del Rey sweatshirt. And I don't know if you guys all know who Lana Del Rey is. I'm sure a lot of people do. She's very, very talented. And maybe some people don't. I don't think she's been around for that long, but she has a very cool voice. She does some cover songs that you would never recognize as someone else's song. She really owns them. And she's very intense and she's very dark. And she's also super pretty. And Lana Del Rey is her stage name, of course. But that dark gray or black sweatshirt with those words about you don't want to be forgotten, you just want to disappear. That was the most bizarre thing. Again, from the outset, as soon as photographs of that sweatshirt were released, I was just like, what? Why on earth would somebody be showing that sweatshirt with somebody who's disappeared? Like, to me, it just seemed made up right away. And then for the sweatshirt to change again after Sammy said, pay attention to what we put out there. Nothing has been verified until we put it out. If something changes, like a shirt or something. Really? Did she really say that in that 30-minute Tony Dodge interview on day 2 or 3? Yeah, she really did. And then lo and behold, we have a white sweatshirt with Odd Future on it. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but on her Find Kylie, what does it say? Find Kylie, Team Find Kylie or something. And it's all written with a black Sharpie, all like jagged and weird. She wrote hers, the one that she's wearing is an Odd Future t-shirt. There's a little Odd Future, like a bear or something, on a square right there in the middle where my necklace is. And so the Find Kylie is all weird. It's super weird because she was trying to go around that square. And those shirts are just super weird. And the whole thing with the white, so many people, including her, that wore white to the memorial service. And I saw some photographs or footage of people that looked like they were wearing white capes, white dresses, like long dresses. The whole thing with the white seems like a weird kind of community kind of thing. You know where I'm going with that. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Wow, I'm already at 27, almost 28 minutes. Man, it goes so fast. I really appreciate you guys paying attention and allowing me to speak and put my 2 cents in. I feel like I have so much to say. Honestly, without sounding corny, I kind of feel like I am called upon with a whole bunch of others to follow this to the end for Kylie, right? To get justice for Kylie. Those of us that are inclined, probably know what I'm talking about. It's not like I feel like God spoke to me or anything that significant. I just feel a very strong pull. Like I hardly even have to work at it. I mean, I just have my notebook with me all the time and I'm thinking of things and I'm looking at things and it just comes really naturally. So, when something is coming that naturally that, you're channeling something in a sense. Even with art or music, I mean, if you're good at something, it doesn't look like you're working that hard at it, right? So hopefully I'm good at this. I'm thinking I'm kind of good at least because I have all these subs and it's only been 42 days or something. I don't know, but I am so grateful. I'm just thrilled to be on YouTube and have an audience, and you guys give me such good input. And, I just feel like it's the highest compliment in the world that anybody's watching me. Honestly, I mean, before I started, I had no idea if I'd get a single subscriber. So I am honored and I feel a great sense of I guess responsibility, really, that if people are going to be allowing me to do this, I would love to run with it, and see where it goes. So hopefully it'll go straight to justice for Kylie, right? If it could only be so simple. So I'm going to read a few of these comments here. The one where they tagged Rhonda R said justice A to Z. Thank you. And I got a big heart from Tam Tam. And Woolston Home 1965. Shining Bearable. I took screenshots about 3 weeks ago of the bloodstains too, above the door at the back. What? Okay, you reminded me of something. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm seeing. You know that video of Jagger where he is in his car and he's driving and you can kind of see up his nose and the bottom of his ball cap? And he's talking about how much he misses Kylie and all this stuff. And it's a really bad angle. It's like it's down on the floor and you're like looking up his nostrils. Looking at that video, there is a bunch of marks on the bottom side of his ball cap. And I first noticed it when watching Zav Girl, and she said she thought he drew a rose on the bottom of his ball cap. And I was like, that doesn't look like a rose to me. It looks like some black grease, like maybe from a bicycle chain or something. And it looks like a big blood splotch. And it looks like a couple other spots too that may or may not be blood splots. And the thing that she thought was a rose, I'm wondering if it's not a blood splotch. And I'm wondering if that wasn't the point of him filming from that angle so we could look up his nostrils and at the bottom of the inside of his baseball cap. I mean, these people, I'll just wrap it up there. I'm going to say thank you so much. Thank you kindly. I hope that you guys are all having a great day. It is about 2:30. Again, it is October 11th, Tuesday. I hope that you have a productive day and feel good and are healthy and you're eating well and you're in good company and you've got nice people around you, and anybody who's not nice, you can just, keep a healthy boundary with them. I'm going to wrap it up and I'll probably see you guys in the morning. I think CNY is having a live tonight. Go watch and wax my SUV, Sage says. Going to wash and wax my SUV. Oh, what a great idea. Hey, honey. My co-star. Okay. Yeah, washing your car is always good. I washed mine a few days ago, but man, I got to clean it out. I got way too much stuff in there. It's like I live out of my car sometimes. So I'm going to end my stream and I'll see you guys soon. Drink your water, eat your protein, your fruits and veggies, and give yourself the rest of the day off. Even if you have to work, just, cut yourself some slack. Thanks again. All right.